Hello my brothers, this is The Order. Welcome back to The Order. I'm Celtic Templar, and today y'all, we're actually going to be taking another reviewing video and as well also a testing video, and that is on this bad boy. This is my newest custom sword from my good buddy Aowas, who of which is part of the J&W Steelcraft. Now if y'all want a good custom sword, for example, or axe, or any other medieval weapon and such, give them a little bit of a contact. I will leave a link down below in the description where y'all can actually contact them. Now, I asked them to make me this majorly because when I tried looking for this one online, I literally kept looking for this on Cult of Athena, allbeststuff.com, or Medieval Collectibles, any type of site that sold swords like this. Problem is, they were always out of stock. And in fact, this is supposed to be the Albion Kershirker. I don't know if I pronounced that anyway. But yes, this is supposed to be based on the Albion Kershirker, which is a Germanic era Falcata, as I like to call it, or the Germanic Falcata. Because one, it looks like one because of the said handle guard. It has that beautiful handle guard grip, or in other words, the umbrella grip handle design, which I love. Major thing I want to put out here is that I had to contact them because one, the stock for these are never in, so I thought to myself, you know what, I know a good buddy, who of which can make this for me, and I'm glad he did. I'm now finally getting myself a chance to finally do a review on it and a test on it, and he says he hopes that it doesn't fall apart like the last one did. Now, my last test video I had from them with the Pictish sword, the only reason that happened was because the fact is the wood was slightly separated in the grip. However, this one is solid wood design, meaning it's full on. There's no separation like the decorative separation design. It's a pure wood design. It's held in place by pins like you would a knife. And the fact is, I would also call this the Early Germanic Messer, or the Germanic Messer entirely, because one, it is technically a knife. This is, yeah, this thing is heavy. This thing is a beast of a weapon. I had to leave it that. They also made my Scabbard. We'll get to that very soon. Now, this is always a single-bladed design weapon. There are different variations. Some people would actually call this a sword. However, some pronounce it as a messer or knife. Honestly, I don't know how I could put it, because one, it is actually a large knife. It looks like a butcher knife. Well, actually, it makes a butcher knife look like nothing. In other words, Michael Myers has nothing on me. Now, maybe you might want to be asking, though, Templar, why would you have this one made? Simple. I actually love Germanic or early historical weapons before the Roman invasion of said regions. And the fact is, this is one of them. The Germans manufactured this originally from bog iron, or peat iron, as it's also known as, and in such, manufacture it into making this sword. However, these were original designed from this museum version. This would have been sacrificially sent into the swamplands, so yeah. Now, if you do this with a steel blade, it wouldn't work like that. You know, people would say, oh, but Templar, it's a steel copy. Well, here's the thing. Most people don't do iron anymore, or bronze. And the fact is, even though I would like it, I think I'd rather prefer the steel quality rather than the bronze or iron quality. Its overall length is about 32 inches, or in this case, 81.5 centimeters. Grip is pretty much 4 inches, which is a little big. But I'll deal with that. As much 4 inches in length, as well as in 10 centimeters. Blade length is about 26 inches, and that would be at least up to 66 centimeters. The blade width entirely right here, it'd be 2.5 inches, or in this case, 6.5 centimeters, I believe. The weight is somewhere between 2 or 3 pounds, or maybe about 2 pounds. I want to say, because pretty much this thing is a very tip-heavy weapon. Because literally, this thing wants to be used as a cleaving weapon. Do I highly advise buying one of these? Hell yes. I will leave the amounts here, so if any of y'all want to buy them and know how much it costs, especially with the scabbard included, this is how much it would cost. Which, onto the scabbard, which I love this. It's actually, it literally just keeps it pushed in. Now, I had him go off of this image here with the historical design scabbards, and I asked him to do it like that, and he did. Which I do love it. He even put these beautiful, I think this is coat hanger, the type of material used for coat hangers, but actually it does still work. It actually works perfectly. For one, for historical decoration, it actually does work. Now, when he put on the baldric, in other words, this thing, which is the baldric, he didn't exactly really know what a baldric was and such, so let me show y'all how he first had it sent to me. Originally, it looked like, real quick. See, I have it placed in the correct position and such. He had it originally like this type of way, like that. Which, no, you don't have a sword like this. And I had to remove his old one and replace it with the Pictish sword, part of the Pictish sword baldric. So yeah, dude, no hard feelings, but yeah, hopefully you see this, dude, so that way you can learn from this one in the long run. Which, he also did add these here, these weird brass rings, which this is where the baldric was supposed to go through. Sadly, though, I think I might need to cut these off because it looks like they're damaging the scabbard a little bit, so yeah. I know I don't want to, but I have to. I'm sorry, dude. But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, but I think you could actually still use it just as much, even without the said ringgits. Majorly because you could also use this wire system to stop the said baldric from going upward, meaning it's going to be perfectly used. Now, why did the Germans use this sword entirely? Well, simple. It was cheap to manufacture, comparing that to, well, the entire steel quality or iron quality style weapons like we understand of, say, like a double-bladed sword. Now, don't get me wrong, I hear many people already saying, but Templar, how powerful was it? Well, in historical warfare, it's actually seen that the power of it was so ferocious that Romans who ended up lifting their shields ended up actually having their scutum shield cut down into, and the tip of the blade went into their skull. So that's saying something. Now, y'all can probably ask my good buddy at JW Steelcraft to manufacture differently if you want, like this model if you want to, with that tapered blade design for a forward tip thrust. Be my guest, because one, I wanted him to have it made like this, because one, this thing looks awesome. I would have to say this thing is a very much blade heavy weapon. It's meant for cutting usage on the battlefield, because literally I feel like this thing is meant for wrecking someone's neck off. And by far, I do love it, and such. Now, when it comes to it, I do love it, especially with that beautiful handle. Look at this. Look at that beautiful handle grip. Now, I think that this would later give rise to the said Germanic sax, or sax, however you want to pronounce it. And in such, there were different ways the said pommel or grip design was made. Sometimes they even had it without the umbrella grip, which I don't know why, but I don't like that. I don't like that look. I went with the umbrella grip because, one, it's beautiful, and it looks awesome. Now, whenever I think of dwarves using a cutting weapon, for example, I automatically think of something like this now. Oh, come on, like y'all don't think the same thing, because look at this. This looks like something a dwarf would use. This looks like Orchrist, the goblin cleaver. In fact, whenever I think of Orchrist, this is Orchrist to me. This is my Orchrist here. Although, since orcs aren't exactly in the real world, I guess I'll call it a demonicus or something meaning demon slayer or something. But yeah, it's entirely good tapering design, and I know many of you want to say, or already saying, Templar, let's see the destruction! Let's see the destruction! Okay. Well, let's get into it, and we'll get right back to here. Alright, y'all. Now, let's first do our testing on the shield, then we'll go straight to the helmet. Now, the sword, it had stories of it splitting through the said shield and into the skull. So I don't know if that's true or not. But why don't we find that out, shall we? What I'm going to do is first do a downward chop, which it seems like this is mostly meant for that. Do a side, and then do a thrust. And let's see how it does. Okay, that did some damage. Oh, actually popped out one of our rivets. That's gonna say something about it. To the side chop. There's the guard. They did some good damage to it. Okay, let's do a thrust. I can't even tell where the hell we thrust now. Okay, there's our first one right here, and then here's our second one. It's pretty good, actually, for the thrust capability. But let's see what it does to a helmet. Alright, now let's try it on this, I believe this was 16 to 18 gauge steel, so let's see what happens. I'm first going to try hitting him on the top end, like right about here. Then I'm going to come around and do this. The side. So let's see. Now to the side. Slightly bent our blade, digited it, I guess, but no major damage. Ooh, I see why I probably got that wrong. The side end went into the rivet like this, so that's where it went, but they did cut in real good. No major damage to our blade whatsoever. Let's see what happens when we have a 14 gauge steel, shall we? Okay, our 14 gauge steel bassinet is now in place. So let's see what it does with it. Not even denting any parts of the blade, or warping it. But it is cleaving into them, I can tell you that much. And our blade sharpness is still there. I think I might need to sharpen a little more here to get rid of that rivet dent. All in all, it did some really good damage, and our sword handle is completely intact. Let's go for a further review. Alright, wasn't that fun, y'all? Now, I hope y'all liked that. Now, as I said, we kind of dented or scratched the part of the blade a little, but the edge is not gone. So, I would have to say that this thing is still workable. It is still a chopping weapon. And that was reinforced steel, damn it. So just imagine what would happen if this guy was, if our opponent was wearing an 18 gauge steel helmet or a lower quality helmet like the Romans would have worn, because the Romans helmets were, like, during the time of the invasion of Germania, were somewhat near identical to that of a said 18 gauge steel, give or take, and in such. This is a good example of why the Germans were a feared warrior race. Now, how dangerous would this be to a human? Let's just say, I don't think, even if you were wearing a male hauberk, for example, I don't think that it will save you from this. You're going to have to wear something like laminar to probably help yourself. But even then, I think the power would be so heavy that it could kill you. Now, people just automatically say, Templar, this is a big-ass kitchen knife. I know, which I do love. As well, one to the major fact I do love about the design of the grip here was, one to the major fact, when it came to the umbrella handle, say for example my sword got stuck in a shield, I could easily just pull it out and just resume on someone's, chopping someone's head off. I know, that's messed up, but yeah. But does it go with other shields in history like, say, heater? Most definitely. Look, I can easily just work with the said shield. This is just perfect for me to use, and I actually do love this. Now, I would have to say this is one of my new favorite swords. Is it one of my newest favorite, one of my best, highest weapon? I had to think about that. But this is really cool. I love this thing, and you actually did a great job on the sword. Love it entirely. If any of y'all want to get your own custom-made swords, axes, shields, or whatever, I will leave a link down below for y'all in the description. It will be the first thing you see in the description area. And in such, just contact him and ask him on type of weapons he can make for you, or as well give him a description of weapon you want, like, say, a claymore, a messer, one of these bad boys, and such. Also, if you want him to make a gladius hispaniensis, like from Celt Iberia, for example, the original ones that the Romans copied off of, which I actually talked about in my last video on how to dress as a Celt Iberian Scutari, I will leave a link below in the description for that, because literally somebody actually stated that they wanted a custom-made sword, and I left them a link. Hopefully AOS got the person to message him and such, because one, I think that they would love to get a sword just like this. Now, also when I first opened it, I loved it entirely. Now, when I got more and more looking into it, apparently there is a slight bit of damage on the handle down here, but it's only minor, so it doesn't matter. In fact, it didn't even come apart, which I thought it would come apart when it came to testing it out, but no. Nothing came apart, which I love that. So, for the price, it is perfect for y'all. Do I state that this is a great weapon for your hubby or whatever that you're buying it for? For yourself, your husband, or probably your wife and such? Probably so, because one, if you love it that much. Now, I hear many people already asking, Templar, would they make this for reenactment purposes also, like, say, blunted? Well, you're going to have to ask them for that. But me, I always have it sharpened and with carbon steel. Yes, I have 100% carbon steel alloy, like EN45. Some people would want this Damascus, but I'm not a Damascus boy. I am a carbon steel man. I know, that sounded weird. But yeah, so many people might ask, so how long were these weapons used? Well, that's the case. We actually don't have much evidence. But we do have evidence that states that it was used before the Roman invasion of Germania, and even used long after it, even during the migration period. So in other words, this might have been the poor man's sword, since the majority of these were made out of bog iron. Bog iron is all over Germania, and as well in Scandinavia. So majority of swords might have looked like this before Germanic people getting their hands on a spatha. So that's a good example to it. But yeah, I know one thing. Even if my opponent has armor on, like say Lorica Simintarta plate armor or even a helmet, I know this thing will wreck his head like a bell. So much so, I don't think anybody would want to come against me. So, yeah, it's pretty... Consider, I think the best option with this is mainly the downward chopping blow. However, if y'all wanted a shorter blade, like about yay big, for example, or yay big, depending, just tell him how long you want it, the descriptions on it, everything. Like how big your hand is, what material you want, how big the blade has to be, how much the width you want, and as well if you want a said scabbard. So yeah, just let them know, and such, they will be happy to do it for y'all. But yeah, I am pretty much glad that they made this beautiful bad boy for me. Because one, they made this beauty, and as well, they even made our custom shield right in our background. But yes, and as well, y'all, you can even get it with a scabbard. Now, I do love this, the fact that the scabbard actually, when I take a look at it, the one way I could tell which way the sword has to go when I'm putting it back in the scabbard is this little opening here. That I love. And as which, I love the solid pommel piece right in the bottom. That's beautiful. Every part of this thing screams ancient Germanic warrior. Which, I might have to do a how-to video on how to dress as an ancient Germanic warrior. Ooh. Ooh. Maybe I should dress as a Hari. Oh, but I think that would have to wait until I can get a strobe light for the night. But anyways, guys, hopefully you liked this video. Like and subscribe for more. If any of y'all have any ideas we should contact him about of a weapon and such, let me know down in the comments below. I'll be happy, more than happy, to actually, well, start a list on the weapons we should get from him. Now, I pretty much am already hearing, Templar, you should get a Grossmesser. You should get a... something. In fact, I could already hear the list getting long. Because, yeah, I already have a list with them. And such, I am planning to probably have them make me Thorin's axe, probably by July, maybe? Or, I don't know, maybe Thorin's axe, maybe not Thorin's axe. I'm still thinking. There is a lot of stuff I want him to make, but I'm thinking, oh, should I ask him to do this one first or this one first? But it depends, so yeah. But if any of y'all want to buy one yourselves, like this beauty bad boy, or as well even have him make y'all a certain weapon from history, let him know immediately. In fact, they will do their best and damn hardest to manufacture a type of sword for y'all. If y'all want a beautiful sword that in which captures ancient Celtic world, for example, like a Celtic chieftain sword, with I think wood handle, like a full-on wood handle, and with jewels and such on it. Here's the thing. Let him know. Send him an image of it that shows decorated piece, even with the scabbard. I think he would love to actually do that. Knowing him, he actually loves somewhat of a challenge. So in such, contact him about it. Let him know. If y'all want any type of historical weapon, let him know immediately. If you want a sword that of which has been discontinued, a weapon of something like that that has been discontinued in every online store you've tried to buy from, then or it's out of stock and such, and you can't wait any longer, here's the thing. Contact him. He will make it perfect for you, and it will be battle ready for you just as soon as you get it. So, anyways, guys, hopefully see you all in the next one. Like and subscribe for more. Also, click that bell button for notifications when our next video comes up. And as well, y'all, also check out our Facebook page if any of y'all want to actually, well, look more into this stuff. Anyways, guys, it's been Celtic Templar. Have a great day.